Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical, and today for you guys I have a Kingdom Hearts discussion video for you guys. Today I want to talk about something that I've wanted to talk about for some time now, and believe it or not, this is actually a commonly kind of discussed matter in terms of Kingdom Hearts, and that is talking about a Final Fantasy world or worlds being in Kingdom Hearts. Now, to start off with, of course we know that Final Fantasy has a relatively big part in Kingdom Hearts. Now, what we do know so far is, in terms of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy is done in a cameo sense when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. We know that there is quite a few different characters and very well-known characters from Final Fantasy that are currently in Kingdom Hearts. And the way they kind of work is their characters are in Kingdom Hearts, and usually they're found in the different hub worlds and whatnot. On the odd occurrence, you'll find, some Final Fantasy characters wandering around in the Disney worlds. But to the point, Final Fantasy is a cameo when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. They don't relatively have a big sort of impact towards the actual story and lore of Kingdom Hearts, but I feel as if that's exactly how it should be. When it comes down to it, Kingdom Hearts is not a Final Fantasy game, yet it's more of a game that brings both Disney and Final Fantasy together with its own spin on things. So first of all, let's talk about the Final Fantasy characters. Now, we do know that basically the characters that are from Final Fantasy that are in Kingdom Hearts, their stories and, their kind of back history and stuff is a little bit different. It's as if these characters are living in a parallel universe where there's like an alternate version of themselves, and this is of course themselves in Kingdom Hearts. They don't exactly have the exact same story and back history as they do in their own counterpart Final Fantasy games, which is always actually pretty cool because it's always nice to see these very familiar characters with a kind of different story, I suppose you could say, direction in comparison to their original sort of selves from their own Final Fantasy games. Now, the reason I'm bringing this exact aspect up is maybe this might be the reason behind Square Enix not actually adding a Final Fantasy world into Kingdom Hearts, just due to the fact that they have different stories, so there's really no point in putting them in their own sort of environmental placement where they're from in their own Final Fantasy games. But I think a greater reason is the worlds and the places that you visit in Kingdom Hearts, they're the Disney worlds, and that's where the whole Disney aspect comes from. The different places you go to are all different Disney places. And ultimately, I don't actually know how Disney would feel about, having an actual world that you visit that isn't actually Disney. In case you guys don't know, Disney have a massive amount of control over Kingdom Hearts, believe it or not. And of course we know that, Square Enix basically do, I would say, 99% of the work when it comes down to it. They are the developers, and they're the ones that really place the story direction. But in terms of all the other stuff and the decisions made and the direction that Kingdom Hearts as a whole actually goes, Disney has a very, very big amount of control over exactly that. And it would be interesting to actually see how Disney would feel about a Final Fantasy world being placed into Kingdom Hearts. Now, of course, if Square Enix actually wanted this to happen, then I would say that they would actually make it happen. But for the meantime, I don't exactly see Square Enix actually implementing a Final Fantasy world. In terms of me, I really wouldn't mind if, say, Midgar or maybe Dalmasca from Final Fantasy XII ended up making it into Kingdom Hearts. Honestly, I wouldn't mind, but when it comes down to it, the different places that we visit and stuff, they're Disney, and the differences between, Disney and a Final Fantasy world would be the realism aspect. Of course, we know that Final Fantasy, it's kind of style in its graphical sense. It's set in a realistic type sort of placement, I suppose you could say. I know the environments can be a little wacky, but it's set in a sort of realistic type environment. And when you compare that to like the Disney aesthetics of the different worlds, they're very cartoony and stuff, and yeah, so it would be kind of strange to see that. But within saying that, of course, we've already seen like Port Royal make it into Kingdom Hearts, and that's placed in a realistic sort of environment, so it wouldn't really be much different from Port Royal if a Final Fantasy world actually got put into Kingdom Hearts. However though, the way that Square Enix has already done the Final Fantasy inclusion into Kingdom Hearts is pretty perfect to me. me. It's always interesting to see the different Final Fantasy characters wandering around the worlds, and they've kind of got their own little missions and their own objectives in each of the worlds. For instance, like Zack being in Olympus Coliseum back in Birth by Sleep, he was wanting to be a hero, and that's kind of the same sort of thing in his own game in Crisis Core, but they put a twist on it. Him being in the Olympus Coliseum, that's the perfect setting, as the Olympus Coliseum is a place where heroes become trained. So I really like the way that Square Enix so far has included the Final Fantasy characters into both the Disney worlds and into the Kingdom Hearts universe. So ultimately speaking, in terms of a world, I don't exactly know if a world is actually necessary for the game, but if there was one to be added, I wouldn't really be complaining. But anyway, that's just my opinion towards the whole matter. I've been wanting to discuss about this for some time, and I'm really excited to see what you guys have to say about this subject. So leave your responses in the comment section below, and until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.